Would like to now invite Mr. George Kuruvilla, Chairman, Managing Director of Broadcast Engineering Consultants India Limited, to share his views on the smart cities. Let's give him a big hand, Mr. George Kuruvilla.
Thank you once again, Elets, and the Government of Goa to giving me the opportunity to talk about the subjects that we are very passionately looking after these days. We come from broadcast engineering. So basically I am from the Indian Engineering Services, so served in All India Radio and Doordarshan for nearly 23 years. And thereafter for the last 4 years I am with this government central public sector organization. And our basic, historically we basically make studios and transmitters, the FM radio, the tower, and that is what our core job had been. So we have made Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, that whatever television that you see, including Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Sir's, the small studio for broadcast purposes, and many central universities we have made the studios, and whatever you hear, the FM transmitter, the private FM transmitter, the common infrastructures have been made by us, and so that is the background that we come. But while we were doing these projects, one of the main project was Electronic Media Monitoring Center for our own Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. So we were told to make a 600 TV channel media monitoring center. Now while I was working on this project, I realized that whatever that we are doing today as an electronic media monitoring center, all these components are required in all the projects that we are looking to. So we have a satellite reception system by which we track all the satellites across in the Indian space and receive those signals and then transcode it, and it goes to the server, then it is stored for 90 days. All these channels are put on an automation software that is intelligent to look at any channel. Suppose if I put I want to see 1 month back, I just put the date and time, ask the channel what did they talk about. I'll just put in the data and it will just start streaming what 1 month back it said. It's intelligent system. I put a video, then it can scan through all the database and find out this particular video has been shown by how many channel in what all times. So all that intelligence software we have put in there, and we made that system. And so we further diversified. When we are dealing with cameras, we are dealing with the radio frequency, the satellite communication, the microwave link, the fiber. We are dealing with the server, the IT, the storage. We are dealing with the automation software. And this is all that what is required in a smart city situation. So whether we are talking of the medical field, we are talking of education, we are talking of the city garbage management, the energy management, we finally have to finally get from the end point converting the situation into a digital data or digital stream or a digital information. And so that sensor has to be placed in whatever format to collect whether it is camera or a microphone or any other transducer that takes in the data from there, and thereafter it is all the IP streaming and the control and command system. So things have to be individually customized, and thereafter all the systems have to come to a central command and control system where as a city, as a smart city, it is able to look at whether the fire department, it comes in there, the police department, the hospital, an accident happens, then the police is also there, the hospital should also know what has happened. Maybe an app can give in what exactly the patient the trauma that he is going through, and the hospital gets ready. Also all the related infrastructures work around it so that a citizen gets his services. So it's an integrated solution. And presently our problem is that we are working in silos, and there is a great need for integration of all these services together, and that is what ultimately is the smart city. But while we were talking about the safety aspect, the safe city is a subset of the smart city, which is the looking at the crime, about the how do we have the safety of the citizen in a particular in a state. Though safety or policing is a state subject, but crime is something that has to be looked at a national perspective. And so there is a great need that even though when we are planning for a particular state, we need to integrate the state information or data on a national platform. And so this is where we are working as a government PSU, how we can make a platform in such a manner that a similar technology or a technology which can communicate or talk with each other is available at every state level, so that whenever there is a need and requirement, the systems are able to talk to each other. Also to have the database of the criminal or those people who, whose track sheet is being made, that suspect a list is made, that repository has to be at a national level. Even if they start migrating from one place to another, their antecedents are very well known on a central repository, so that the state police can act on that basis. So that is where is the need today when it is the safety and security. And we are looking at, what are the softwares? As he already mentioned, our job is basically we try to study the technologies available across the world, which is the best in each of the areas. For example, let's say for the face recognition, NEC is having the best software. And when we talk about the people search and other analytics, NICE and Variant, these are top names that come into picture. We were looking about the firewall or the other, cyber safety. We have another company already which made a presentation here. So we keep looking at which is the best technology available worldwide and try to bring it together so that we create a platform in which all the best technologies are available. And so in our own country, we start using best of the technologies. And so when we look at the government system, the government procurement is a very difficult thing when we look at the best of the things, because L1 doesn't work when we go for the best of the things. So we are looking and we are in talks with all these top companies that if this platform is available to a central public sector unit, and if it's provided on a service mode or on a rental mode, and even outright sale of some part of it, then through a PSU route, if it can be worked out, the rates can be similar to a DGS&D rate contract for some of the commodity-based items, and the other things can be customized. Some customization charges may be there, but this is how the best of the things can come to the country. At the same time, we are looking at if there are Indian-based startup companies who are developing, and there are lots of them these days. They're working on various applications. They're working on various newer things, newer technology things, and we look at them. We see their presentation and see that if we can adopt those technologies and bring it, with a PSU, so that an Indian company, is getting a platform to showcase, and it is very easy for government agencies or department to procure through a PSU those startup technologies for their purposes. So we are looking at that as well, so that we do the Make in India, we promote the Indian entrepreneur, if they are coming to the level which can be utilized by. So both the things we are looking, we are aware of one thing, that the best of the big data technologies, we cannot do it in a day. It will take years together for even our own homegrown countries to stand up or to rise up to those levels. The economies of scale and economies of scope is so much that it will take time to catch up with them, whether it be Google or Microsoft or all this big companies, Oracle. They have made their space with years of data and technology growth. We cannot match up to them. So somewhere we have to use them also. At the same time, we promote wherever that level or lower level requirement is there, and our Indian company can pitch in. We do there, and there are some of the areas where our own companies are standing at par with, or they have done specialized job which no even international companies are not done. So looking at the Indian situation, our own requirement, if our own companies are standing up and coming up to that level, like today we were talking to Mr. Gautam, and I saw the presentation. I was very happy to see it, that we understand in television that each frame is 25, in 1 second there are 25, shots in a frame. So if I just take one of it, that's good enough, for my perception to understand what a, CCTV camera is is catching. So I know that, okay, one frame will give me information. So if I'm just storing one frame out of 25 frame, I save, 1/25 of, I'm just doing it 1/25 the bandwidth or the storage space. So I was quite happy to see that this can really be helping us, that we not, the storage size can be reduced to that much level. So I told him that, Mr. Gautam, come over, we will sit across, see the technology and see how we can adopt it and put it into the government systems in various places. So that is where we come from, and anybody from government departments, we're always ready. If we can do, you have a problem, a technology problem, we'll be there to look at all the aspects and provide you a detailed project report about what could be possible solutions for it. Thank you very much once again.